look like Brianna, Stewart, and Sabrina Ionescu has broken their silence about this massacre they team just...
The defending champions were thoroughly outplayed on their home court, and the aftermath was nothing short of stunning. Sabrina Ionescu and Brianna Stewart took to the microphones following a 14-point loss, and rather than offering excuses, they did something unexpected. They gave a candid and respectful nod to Caitlin Clark's dominant performance. Their honest praise left no doubt about who's making waves in the league right now. Were you surprised by how gracious the Liberty Stars were in defeat, or do you think they were simply playing it safe after a humbling loss?
The performance we saw from Caitlin Clark today against a team that started off the season 9-0, a team that is the defending champions, might have been the greatest women's basketball performance we have ever seen. That might have been the greatest showing from a WNBA player we have ever witnessed. That was spectacular. The shots she hit in this game, y'all, were something like I've never seen any other women basketball player ever come close to hitting. There are NBA superstars out there that I have not seen have a game.
Let's set the stage, because context matters when greatness recognizes greatness. The New York Liberty came into this game as the reigning champions, comfortably perched at the top of the standings, likely expecting an easy win over a Fever team that had been struggling without its star. Instead, they got a masterclass in basketball that was so complete, it might as well have come with a diploma. Caitlin Clark made her return after a 5-game injury absence and wasted no time reminding everyone why she's the most electrifying force in the league. 32 points, 7 assists, and enough jaw-dropping moments to pack a Netflix documentary. But here's what truly stood out. After being thoroughly outplayed, Sabrina Ionescu and Brianna Stewart didn't make excuses or shy away from a moment. They gave Clark her flowers, acknowledging her brilliance with honesty and grace.
Like we go on runs, they do as well. They're a great team. So I don't think it's defeating. I think obviously we know what a great shooter she is, and I think we just gave her too many easy ones. Obviously, she has great range, and her ability to get her shot off is really impressive, especially with missing some games. And so obviously on a personal level, I'm really happy to see her back out on the court, healthy, feeling good, because obviously it's important for them. But
when asked about Caitlin Clark's performance after missing several games, Sabrina Ionescu didn't hesitate to give credit where it was due. She praised Clark's shooting ability, her deep range, and most impressively, her knack for getting her shot off despite tight defensive pressure. That wasn't just polite post-game chatter. It was a genuine acknowledgement of elite talent, even after that talent had just lit them up on national television. But Sabrina didn't stop there. She went beyond the usual platitudes, expressing real happiness to see Clark back on the court and healthy. Asterisk, on a personal level, I'm really happy to see her back out on the court healthy and feeling good. It's important for them, but just for her, I'm happy she's back. Asterisk, that's not something you say about just another opponent. That's respect, pure and simple, for a player you recognize as special. What stood out most, though, was Sabrina's candid admission that they gave Clark too many easy looks. Let that sink in. One of the greatest shooters in WNBA history, acknowledging that Clark's shot-making is so lethal, even a sliver of space is too much. When Sabrina Ionescu says someone has deep range, you listen, because she's made a career out of drilling threes from the parking lot. Brianna Stewart's response was just as respectful, though it came from a slightly different perspective. As one of the most decorated players in the league, a champion, an MVP, Stewart could have easily shifted the focus to team mistakes or questionable officiating. Instead, she kept it real, admitting that the Fever were simply the better team that night. It wasn't deflection. It was accountability, and a clear sign that Clark's performance demanded recognition. Stewart's body language during the game said it all. When Clark pulled up on the logo and drained a three with Stewart defending from a distance, there was no visible frustration or anger, just a smile. It was a kind of reaction that only comes from a player who knows they've just witnessed something extraordinary, even if it came at their own expense. That smile wasn't resignation. It was respect.
With one another, Stewie's laughing. Caitlin knows it's ridiculous. Just out there having a good time.
Let's break this down, because what happened wasn't just a basketball game. It was a moment. The Liberty came in as defending champions, leading the league and likely expecting to breeze past a Fever team that had been struggling without Caitlin Clark. But the return of Clark flipped the script completely. This wasn't just a good performance. It was a seismic shift. Clark dropped 32 points, dished out 7 assists, and orchestrated an offensive clinic that left one of the league's best teams scrambling for answers. The defensive breakdown that Brianna Stewart mentioned weren't random errors. They were a direct result of Clark's sheer gravitational pull. When a player can shoot from anywhere past half court and make it look routine, it warps opposing game plans. The Liberty found themselves stuck in the impossible task of defending Clark without abandoning her teammates, and they failed badly. That failure was reflected not only in the box score, but in the way the game flowed. The Fever shot lights out from 3, knocking down 17 triples, while the Liberty managed just 20% from beyond the arc. That disparity wasn't luck. It was a product of Clark commanding so much attention that everyone else on Indiana's roster suddenly looked like a dangerous scorer. Post-game, Sabrina Ionescu and Brianna Stewart could have leaned on excuses. Instead, they showed real class and maturity. Sabrina gave Clark full credit, praising her shooting, her poise under pressure, and her ability to get clean looks despite aggressive defense. And she went further. She said she was genuinely happy to see Clark healthy again, calling her return good not just for Indiana, but for the league. That's not something you say about a random opponent. That's recognition of someone who's changing the landscape. Stewart was just as honest. When Clark hit that deep logo 3 with Stewart contesting, Stewart smiled, not in frustration but in admiration. That's a future Hall of Famer acknowledging that she just witnessed something special. And in her comments after the game, Stewart didn't hide behind coach speak or blame. She admitted the Fever were better prepared, executed their game plan more effectively, and simply outplayed them. Sandy Brondello, the Liberty's head coach, echoed that sentiment. No talk of bad calls or missing players, just a nod to the fact that the Fever were the better team.